The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Candidates for Congress on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to a special voter education edition of Triad Today, where over the next half hour you'll hear from 5 candidates who are running for Congress in the 6th District. Now that district, of course, comprised of counties like Cabarrus, Davidson, Davie, Forsyth, Guilford, and Rowan. But first, here are a few words from Todd Hall, President and CEO of Triad Federal Credit Union, who's helping to make this show possible.
In this heightened political climate, it's especially important to find resources that separate the noise from the news, a resource that focuses on what's going on in our government and how current and proposed initiatives might impact our communities. That's why Triad Federal Credit Union supports Triad Today and its commitment to voter education.
With us now is a familiar face to most of the people in this area and also to the Triad Today show because he's been here with us before. We're talking about, of course, the Honorable Addison McDowell, first-term Republican Congressman representing the 6th District. Good to see you again, sir.
Jim, it's good to see you as always.
Let's remind the folks, because you and I've talked about these things before. The war on illegal drugs, especially fentanyl, is especially personal to you and your family, and remind us why.
Yeah, well, it's personal to me, but it's also personal to virtually everyone in this district now, because we all know somebody that has lost a loved one or someone very close to them to fentanyl poisoning. And so I lost my little brother Luke, who today would be 30 years old. He died when he was 20 from fentanyl poisoning that was fentanyl that almost certainly came from Mexico via China. And, that's a really difficult thing, but it's what drives me and what motivates me every day to fight for people like him and people like my family and those that know the sting of death that comes with a loved one dying earlier than they should. And
Absolutely.
So that's what drives me every day.
Are you pleased with the progress that you and President Trump have made so far in securing our southern border? Because no matter what political party you're in, everybody admits it was horrible having 2 million illegal people coming in. We just couldn't handle them. And so you guys were going to work on that last time we talked. How's it going?
Yeah, well, great. And I think it's at least 2 million people, but we had a very porous southern border. We had very lackluster security. We had law enforcement that had their hands tied behind their back. They couldn't do anything. But the border was secured almost immediately. When President Trump took office, by the time he left the Capitol on Inauguration Day, he was signing executive orders to correct what had happened there. And so that is great. But, we cannot act like the cartels are just going to stop. This is a billion-dollar industry that we're trying to undo.
Supported by foreign governments.
100%. I mean, you've got the Chinese that are propping this up, and it's a war against the United States, a Cold War that's happening. There's not a gunshot that's happened, but there is death that's taking place, and we've done a lot of great work. I've worked with the DEA. I've worked with many different government law enforcement agencies to try to figure out, what do you need? Okay, the border is secure. Now what can we do to help you as the cartels adapt to, okay, that you got a secured southern border, now we're going to come through the ocean.
Right.
We're going to be shipping pill presses through cargo containers. How do we address that? And so we've introduced a number of pieces of legislation that aim at figuring out how to solve the crisis in different ways because the president secured the border.
Right.
We know that that's done. Now what do we do?
Why are you, I guess this is kind of a campaign question, although you're a sitting congressman, so it's a double duty here. We're talking to you as a sitting congressman, the incumbent, but also a candidate for re-election. Why are you running for a second term?
Well, I told the president when I spoke with him before running that I'd laid out what I wanted to do. And part of that was helping him accomplish the agenda that he was running on. Now, we've done a lot of that. We have codified dozens of executive orders. We passed the tax legislation that he wanted to get through that provided the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. And we've done those things, but we're not done. And I believe when I looked at the field that opened up in this district last cycle, I believed that I was the best person for this job, that I would do the best job. I still believe that, but we're not done. We've done everything that we said we were going to do. We're working on getting through that,
right.
But there's more work to be done, and I believe I'm the best person for the job.
Well, we want to put up on screen a website, mcdowell.house.gov, which I really invite everybody to visit, so you can learn more about some of the things the Congressman is working on our behalf, and a lot of good information on there, updating in some of the monies that you're bringing into the area and the various counties. So we appreciate everything you're doing, and good luck in the campaign, sir.
Jim, thank you very much.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting is the work. I think it's
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
Back now on this special voter education edition of Triad Today, and I'm so glad that you stuck with us here on the program. Our special guest now is Bo Blair. He's a Democratic candidate for 6th District Congress. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, where you grew up, where you went to school.
Well, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but I grew up right here in Salisbury, North Carolina. Spent most of my life there until I went to Blue Ridge School up in Virginia for a couple of years.
You've been all over.
I've been around.
What brought you to Salisbury, though?
Well, my mom is from Salisbury.
Oh, okay.
So I have a deep history in Salisbury. My great-grandfather used to be mayor of Salisbury, so we've been there for quite a while.
So you got politics in your blood.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what did you learn from either your parents or uncle or aunt or people that maybe will put you in good stead in Congress? Any one lesson you think of that maybe they shared with you or taught you?
Well, I think the most important thing is resilience. You know, my family I come from a long line of people who've built businesses on their own. You know, a lot of opposition, and we faced some of that as well, but we have stayed true to what we believe in and kept running this campaign. So.
Right. Yeah. You know, people use the phrase when they talk to a politician or elected official, what do you do in real life? You know, you've heard that phrase. So what kind of jobs have you had that, from a professional standpoint, we've talked about your parents and upbringing, whatever, from a professional standpoint, that's preparing you to serve in Congress?
Well, exactly that. I've served tables, waited tables, bartended, worked in hotel and hospitality for most of my life, probably about 25 years working in hospitality and service industry. So that is probably one of the most important things I can bring to the table.
Yeah, learned a lot about people doing that, don't you?
Oh yeah, and service and humility is a big one as well.
Well, you can't go to Congress if you're going to be humble. That's what are some policy issues or problems that concern you that you want to tackle?
Well, I mean, we're facing a crisis of affordability right now. We're looking at healthcare and housing prices as something that people just don't have access to affordably. A big one for us is education. You know, over the course of my lifetime, we have seen education just get diminished and demolished. And now I have 2 young children.
What ages?
10 and 8, 9 and 10.
All right.
Yeah, and we're just watching their education system just get taken away even farther. It's something that we have to stop if we want our children to have a good quality future. And then another big one is, like you said, humility. We want to bring some accountability back to the people who represent us and serve us. And we also want to overturn Citizens United and try and get as much dark money out of politics as we possibly can.
And just to remind people, that Citizens United has come under fire because it just sort of let people give unlimited amounts of money. And I think the courts said something like the PACs can count as a person,
yeah.
Which was kind of stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's allowed politicians to be bought. We watched the massive amount of money that one person gave to another person to win a high office. It was about $250 million. That is a direct result of Citizens United. So yeah, PACs shouldn't be counted as people, so they can give as much money as they want.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What about the term limits? Sometimes people will say, well, they're going to get in there, Bo will get in there, he'll never leave. What do you think?
I do agree with term limits. I want to make sure that the job is done first and foremost. So yes, I do agree with term limits. I do think the most important thing we should look at is age limits. We have 100 delegates in our Congress who are over 80 years old, and half of them are running for re-election. That is something that needs to be fixed as well, especially if we want to continue to progress forward as a country.
Yeah, not that us elderly folks can't think and function. I'm in my 70s, but I understand exactly what you're saying. I mean, it's a young person's thing. Look, just 10 seconds. Why are you running for Congress?
I believe in the people of this district and the people of North Carolina, and I want to fight and serve the people that I represent more than anything else.
All right, up on screen, I want to get everybody to visit this website if you would. Bo Blair Congress, all right?
Yes, sir.
BoBlairCongress.com. Visit that and read about what some of Bo's positions, that kind of thing. And good luck with the campaign, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, young man. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Truliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Truliant. We have just what you need.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on this special voter education edition of Triad Today. So glad you're with us. We'll be focusing, of course, as I said, the entire half hour on candidates who are running for Congress in the 6th District. And with me right now, our special guest, Keith Davenport, Democratic candidate for Congress in the 6th District. Good to see you, sir.
Likewise, likewise.
First question, just tell us very briefly a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you went to school.
Wow, okay. Well, let's see, I was born in upstate New York.
Okay.
I was raised in Denver, the Mile High City.
Wow.
Yeah. And let's see, I am a veteran.
Yeah, Air Force.
Air
Force, right.
I followed in the footsteps of my brother, who also served in the Air Force.
Okay.
And I guess service it's a family thing.
In the blood.
Yeah, it is.
Well, now that leads me to the second question, because I was reading about you. You're an ordained bishop.
Yes, I am.
You were formerly a mayor of what city?
Brooksville, Oklahoma.
Brooksville, Oklahoma. So here's my question. Let me sort of consolidate that, Keith. Sure. Thinking about those jobs you've had, thinking about your life experience, what about those things prepares you to be a congressman?
I'm a fighter. I'm a troublemaker. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to borrow something from John Lewis, but right. I am a troublemaker.
In a good way.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that when injustices happen, I believe that we have an obligation as citizens to step in and to act.
Especially these days.
Exactly.
What policy initiatives or problems do you see that you're concerned about that you want to work on?
Wow.
Give me an example.
Well, my team and I have been working on what is called the American Health Security Act of 2027.
Okay.
It is a universal health care program. Congress, as you possibly know, allocated $1.6 billion for health care for the nation of Kenya. In Kenya, health care is embedded as a human right, but that's not the case here.
No.
And what is deeply disturbing to me is that this same Congress that has allocated $1.6 billion for their universal health care in Kenya is refusing to pass the same type of legislation here.
Right,
To me, that's problematic.
Right, and of course, should you go to Congress, you will no doubt learn very quickly that all of the members are very well covered with their health insurance.
Which is, to me, very hypocritical.
Yeah.
So we have put together a plan. We do not have concepts of a plan.
Right.
We have a full plan that is fully written, and they can read it on my site online.
Right.
It is ready for on day number 1.
Keith, what about term limits? For them or against them?
I am strongly for them. However, with this caveat, because members don't control the agenda, leaders do, I also support term limits for congressional leaders.
Okay. What would you, I'll put you on the spot. I was going to ask you how long you would serve, but, how old are you now?
I'm 72.
Well, I'm going to retire when I'm 90, so you can.
I won't tell anybody.
You can stay in there until you're 90. Okay, very quickly.
Sure.
Do 15 seconds. Why are you running for Congress?
I'm running to serve. That's it. I'm not running for a photo ops, to be on TV. I'm running to actually serve.
That's great. I want to put up your website on screen, davenportforcongress.com. Please visit that, folks, and learn more about Keith and his policies and platforms. Keith Davenport. Thank you, young man.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right.
We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Back now on this special voter education edition of Triad Today, as we're covering the 6th Congressional District, and our special guest right now is the Honorable Cyril Jefferson, Mayor of High Point, Democratic candidate for 6th District Congress. Good to see you, young man.
Pleasure to be with you, Jim.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. A lot of folks around here already know, but for those that don't, where were you born, grew up, what school did you go to?
Yeah, so Jim, my name is Cyril Jefferson, very proud Mayor of High Point, North Carolina. More than that, though, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I'm also the son and grandson of ministers, veterans, and civil servants. In fact, my grandparents, if you could draw a dot right through that wall there, they're about a mile away.
How about that?
And when my family first moved down here to North Carolina, 30 years ago this month, in fact, we lived right here in Kernersville. And then I grew up here in the Triad, and my mom and stepfather married. He's a furniture upholsterer.
Okay.
And so furniture brought us to High Point. And me and my family have been in High Point now for the past 20 years. My wife and I are raising our 2 boys, Cyril II and Royce. They've been excited to be out of school the past 12 days.
Yeah.
And
from the snowstorm and everything. We're actually taping this program ahead, so if hopefully it's not snowing on the day of this broadcast. Now, also you're a business owner, I think.
Yes, sir.
Business owner, mayor. How have those jobs and your life experience prepared you to be a congressman?
Absolutely. So before ever getting into office, I spent years as an educator. And several years ago, I founded a company, Change Often Social Innovation Firm. Our focus is on working with organizations who do impact type work. We try to address social and economic challenges. Very recently, we completed a strategic acquisition and integration into a larger firm called Stratagon, where now I head up their industry practice for higher education. And that's still work that's very much focused on impact. And so a lot of the skills and a lot of the passion that I've brought as an educator, as a business owner, and now someone leading in the work around higher education, really is a through line to what I believe in terms of the opportunity we have in front of us. America's the best doggone country on the planet, Jim. I believe you and I both know that. And as we believe that, the American dream that makes this such a great country is one that we want to realize for as many people as possible. The folks who do it right, folks who work hard every single day, they should have a chance to get ahead. If I could share this brief stat with you, Jim, following World War II, a person born just in that few years after that had a 90+% chance of doing better than their parents did.
Right, that's
from
right.
an economic mobility standpoint. Well, you fast forward to the time I was born, in the late 80s, early 90s, in that period, that chance reduces all the way down to about a coin flip. So now you've got a 50% chance of doing better than your parents.
That's right.
Somewhere along the way, whether it's through cost of living or just the erosion of so many things that have built up the middle class, we've lost some of that. We've got to get that back.
Give me an example of a current problem or initiative that you want to work on first.
Well, I think being in local government, as mayor of High Point, one of the things that we lean in quite a bit on is housing. And it's a supply and demand issue, as we know. If demand goes up, which is great because our population is growing, you've got to have the supply that keeps pace with that demand. We've not had that. We've now dealt with the scarcity of housing supply, which has driven up housing costs. I think at the national level, we've got to be able to lean in and give real muscle to that.
Right.
I think governments across this country want to get serious about it, but they need a partner at the federal level who can help with that, whether it's housing or you address the issue of healthcare, or just simply put, workforce development, economic development.
Yeah, that's the big thing now, especially around here with some of the new industries coming. Final thing, make your pitch, 30 seconds or so. Why are you running for Congress?
I'm running for Congress because I believe government has a responsibility to get things done, that we've got to work for all people. You often hear me say, there's no such thing as a red or blue pothole, Jim. And so the problems that we have, quite frankly, most of us are in this middle group who know we can solve it.
Absolutely.
There's the extremes on this side and that side, and we can't let them dominate the chorus. Folks like you and me coming together to solve these problems, I believe that we can continue to realize what the American dream looks like for so many people.
One thing I was going to ask you earlier, I have a couple seconds left. You're talking about your background. What did you learn from your parents that you can use going to Washington?
My parents instilled in me the power of faith and prayer on a daily basis. And so I believe that except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh in vain. What that just simply means that if we don't let God guide us, then everything we do will be in vain. But God bless America because we've got a good chance in front of us.
All right, up on screen, CyrilForCongress.com, CyrilForCongress.com. I hope you will check that out and learn all about policy positions for the Honorable Cyril Jefferson. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, we'll be right back.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making health care better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Back now with this special voter education edition of Triad Today. So glad you stuck with us. This is our final segment of the half hour. And with us right now is a first-time visitor to the show, Alyssa Cassay. She's a Democratic candidate for Congress in the 6th District. Welcome and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Give us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you were born, where you went to school. Help me out.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and we spent most of my first 25 years on what we call Long Island. And then from there, I had 2 small children, and New York was a little expensive, so we wound up coming here in 1992.
Okay.
No, 1996, I'm sorry, 1996.
You've been a North Carolina resident for a long time.
Yeah, more than I've been in New York.
How about that?
Do you believe that?
How about that? Now, what jobs have you held, what experience have you had that makes you, not just the jobs, but what makes you ready to serve in Congress?
So what brought me down here was my job. My job is, or was, as a federal employee for the Internal Revenue Service. Under the Clinton administration, he had something similar to what Trump did now, but not as aggressive. And that's what brought me down to Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
So what I believe now is that all that experience that I had and all that training that the government gave me, I believe gives me now the ability to work in a federal congressional seat.
Right, from a legislative standpoint, which has got to be valuable to have people of all sorts, doctors and CPAs and people, so you would bring a unique kind of experience. What policy issues or problems are you particularly interested in tackling when you get in?
Well, so, it's interesting because my personal issues are different from my voters.
All right, what do you mean?
So, I mean that for me, my issues are, of course, affordability, the economy, but then for me, housing was the second issue because I have adult children.
Okay.
And my adult children struggled to purchase their first home. But as I reached out to the constituents in this district, I have a survey on my website, and what we found was that it was, of course, the economy first, but it was education second. So I have no children in the education field, but most of the constituents do. So my priority is education.
Boy, do we ever need it now, both the quality of instruction and really making schools safe, which I know is a concern of yours as well. If you sort of wrapped it up into one answer, and we were doing a commercial, which we don't do, but why are you running?
I'm running because, as I said earlier, Trump signed over 100 executive orders on day one, and one of them, there's a couple of them, but I'll just talk about one, was to fire my probationary employees that I had hired 4 months earlier. And I found that to be not something that I felt was something that I wanted to do, even though I was forced to do it. I was mandated to do it. And that, amongst the dozens of executive orders that he signed, dismantling a whole bunch of stuff, just caused me to realize that I just didn't want to work in a federal environment that had me think about whether I was going to do something ethically or not.
Right, I got you.
So I stepped down from that position.
This is very quick, interested in you personally. What's one thing you learned from your parents that maybe puts you in good stead to be in Congress?
What is something that I learned from my parents? Never give up. Never
Okay.
give up, and just if there's a journey out there for you, you need to keep on the same path.
And this is your journey.
That's
I
right.
think that's neat. I'm going to put up something on screen so you can learn more about Alyssa. You go to CasseForCongress.com. That's up on screen now. And I hope you will check that out because you can learn a lot about Alyssa and her positions and why she's running. And I appreciate you being here, and good luck on everything.
And thank you for having me.
Sure,
I appreciate it.
my pleasure.
Thank
and
you.
so we wrap things up on this edition, and I want to put up something else on screen, TrueAlliant.org, because Todd Hall, Atticus Simpson, the whole True Alliant team has helped make this show possible. So TrueAlliant.org, hope you will visit that. And most importantly, go out and vote on primary day. That's Tuesday, March 3rd. For all of us here at Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.